we're back with Weekend Edition. We're here to talk about an up-and-coming movie, Courageous, and joining us now is two lovely ladies who also have been doing their part to promote this movie as well as support our men and women in blue. Thank you both for joining us today. All right, so can I have you both introduce yourselves for our audience?
I'm Trina Ula.
And I'm Helen Middlebrook.
All right, so first off, let's start by telling us, what is this movie, what can people expect when they watch this?
Well, this movie is from the same men in Albany, Georgia, who made Fireproof, which spent 11 weeks in the theater here on Guam back in 2009-ish. And it is a movie about 4 police officers who do a good job on the street and are struggling at home. So the movie follows them through their career, and a tragedy happens which causes them to stop and rethink what they're doing and to bring their focus back towards home. And so the movie models that for them, and how if men decide to be courageous for their family, what a blessing that is in their home, to their wives and to their children.
Nice. Anything that you'd like to say about what your observation of the movie is and what people can expect from your perception?
I think they can expect a movie that will be both inspiring and entertaining and very real. This particular film studio, they're an independent group of producers. They specialize in reality. And if anybody saw their previous movie, Fireproof, there were scenes in there of people arguing, and I had a person comment to me, I felt uncomfortable. I felt like I was watching this couple really fighting, and it made me uncomfortable because it was so real. And that's what you'll see. They don't sugarcoat it. They do an incredible amount of research so that they're not either pumping up or putting down. It's a very real movie, and I think that people will enjoy it on all levels, for the entertainment value as well as being inspired by it.
All right.
And there is comic relief in the film. We haven't seen the whole film yet, but the bits and pieces that we've seen, you go from a very intense scene, maybe a police chase, to an emotional scene where they're being addressed with an issue in their home, to Javier, who is the comic relief of the film. So it's across the board, entertaining, inspiring, and just pushes you to think.
All right. Now, Helen, earlier you were telling us about some law enforcement officers that you spoke with yourself, kind of explaining to them what to expect from this movie and putting them in that situation. What was the response that you were getting from them?
Well, I did talk, we've been speaking to everyone. We have spoken to people in DYA, we've spoken to people in DOC. Mm-hmm. Their response is, we need this movie because it will show our families how they can do the things that will prevent people from coming to DYA and DOC. We have spoken to Police Chief, we spoke to Captain Suba, and he was excited to hear about the movie, and he really believes it will be a challenge to his officers because they go through so many struggles and so many stresses in their jobs. Mm-hmm. I spoke to one man who was formerly on this squad, and he said, if I've seen that kind of stuff happening in our police force, and he said, if I was on the police force for years, if I had been married for that, when I was on the force, I don't know that I would still be married because of the stresses that they face with their personal lives and with the professional stresses.
Mm-hmm. Now, while we're talking about the movie, you also did something to help some of our law enforcement participate and watch the movie itself. Tell us about those efforts that was done by the squad.
Well, what we did was, in order to get this movie here, we had to sell 1,000 tickets ahead of time because it's been an independent studio, and they have 1,100 copies of this movie. So you have to prove to them that your market is worthy of that movie. Mm-hmm. And so what we did, we started in June, and Tango Theaters has been very, very supportive of us, and we're very thankful for everything they've done. Mm-hmm. But we started promoting the movie back in June, and then we thought, this movie is about officers, show them how to help with the stresses in their life. We really think that we're being inspiring, encouraging to them. So how can we send them? So what we did was we solicited the support of our community and businesses, and about 30 businesses, individuals, and families and organizations have contributed so that on 9/12, as close as we could get to 9/11, we presented those tickets to the police department, 800 tickets, to enable all of our reserved, our regular and reserve officers to take their spouses on opening weekend.
Nice. What was the reaction that you were getting from some of the officers after them hearing that they'll be able to see this feature with their family?
Well, why don't you tell about the one you saw that?
Right, we were at the forensics conference up at Harvest, and you know, the lady came over to the table to purchase tickets. We had some available, and then we, through conversation, found out that she was actually a police officer's wife. And so I said, well, you don't need to purchase tickets, you're getting tickets for free. And she just was so excited. She called her husband, babe, you know that movie you've been wanting to see? We got free tickets. So, and we made the presentation through Blue Shield on September 12th. And it's just going to be a blessing, I think. One friend had the concern that if all the police officers are in the theater opening weekend, are we going to be safe on Guam? But we did spread the tickets disbursement out over the 3
That's a good
days.
point.
Yeah.
But you'll be very safe when you go to the movie.
Yes.
Okay. Anything else that the two of you would like to add?
Get out and get your tickets. They're on sale at Agania Shopping Center box office. We've sold about 2,400 so far for opening weekend. And be inspired, be courageous, encourage your police department if you have an opportunity to come across somebody who's serving in that as a first responder. Actually, you know, our police, our paramedics, our fire department, they all need encouragement because it's a tough job.
And this is a movie for all men and for all families.
Yes.
It's not just for the police. They use the police as the vehicle to explain the stresses of being a dad. But this is really a movie to encourage dads, and we're excited for what it's going to do, and we really believe it will encourage the fathers on board.
All right. Thank you both for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you.